Hello, my fellow enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of After My Day Job. Today, we're on episode 5 of season 2, marking the conclusion of part 1 that deserves a cheers and a sip for season 2. I've divided the season into 2 parts, okay? With the first offering direction, clarity, and strategic insights for setting up your post-work lifestyle and pursuits. Part 2 is in the works, okay? And I'm thrilled to share in more detail about my journey re-entering entrepreneurship post-work the rest of this season. If you haven't already, I highly encourage you to listen to the previous episodes as they are designed to build on each other. Those episodes give really good insight into how to set yourself up to find and achieve your best self and the lifestyle that you desire post-work. As a review, episode 1, I talk about how my unconventional post-work lifestyle all started from not feeling valued at work 12 years ago, and how I found value through hobbies and passion projects. I explain how you can achieve a similar outcome by shifting your mindset regarding the extent to which work defines our identity and the value we discover beyond it. Now, episode 2, I talk about how I narrowed down the hobbies and passion projects that I would pursue long term. Now, for those who don't know what their hobbies are, or for those who struggle to land on one to pursue, in that episode, I teach you how to define and rate them through mind mapping. In episode 3, I share with you how to properly budget your time like you budget your money, using this really cool capacity system formula that I've developed from helping me with my post-work pursuits. It literally is a game changer. You can find time, not just for your passion projects, but time for every other thing that you need to do after work. Even having fun and entertainment is baked into that formula. Episode 4, the one that precedes this episode, is talking about how we achieve our ambitious goals, our ideas and pursuits over time. I'm convincing you that no dream is too big once you give it time to grow. Today's focus is on transitioning from being a hobbyist to an entrepreneur. It's an episode I'm really excited about. It's where I'm at this current season. This session is relevant for those considering or already in the early stages of transitioning from passion projects, hobbies, to entrepreneurship, of which I actually call part-time entrepreneurship, especially for those of us with a full-time job. I experimented with various entrepreneurial ventures in my 20s, including launching a clothing line to running an events production company. I also pursued a career as a musician. Despite encountering numerous failures, I've gained valuable lessons that I'm now reapplying in my 30s. So many lessons that I couldn't share them in one episode today. So part 2 will delve deeper into those entrepreneurial experiences and how I'm tackling them now. The true theme to my life is that we don't have to give up on things that matter to us. We just need to learn from the mistakes we made and approach them differently. After taking several years off, I've gathered the confidence, the knowledge, the budget, and time needed to re-enter the world of entrepreneurship. Currently, still secondary to my full-time job as a creative executive. Look, it's a commitment. It's a commitment that has both broken and built me, and today I share what that transformative journey has looked like. The first thing I realized that I had to correct was my mindset. How I thought about myself, how I perceived myself, the permission I withheld from myself, and what it took to actually be a leader. So let's spend the next 20 to 25 minutes exploring that journey. How do we shift our mindsets to think like an entrepreneur? I want to open up with a question. How can an individual who has typically relied on people leaders throughout their career transition into an ownership role? As a people leader, it's easier for me to understand that this mindset shift is easier than most of you think. And only if I could have understood this years before I became a manager, I'd be further along than I am now with the ideas and part-time businesses I'm currently pursuing. Let me start by saying this before I hop into what it requires to change your mindset. You can be an owner. It doesn't matter what your manager says, it doesn't matter what your parents say, it doesn't matter what your ex says, it doesn't even matter what your current companion says. What matters is that you know that anybody, and I mean anybody, can be an owner. You are more than capable of being your own boss. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let me break down some of the things that I had to overcome on this journey and that I continue to grow as a result of shifting my mindset. Let's talk about taking ownership of my own growth and security. Back in my college days at Albany State University, shout out to my alma mater, I had a life-changing experience at a small storefront church. Now, the pastor, whose church is now well over 3,000 people strong, delivered a message that stuck with me. Our security shouldn't solely rely on institutions or jobs, but on something deeper like faith in God. And that lesson really resonated with me as I matured. Over the years, I continued to interpret it in a different light, understanding that while faith is essential, so is taking ownership of our own outcome, of our own present and future. It's about self-reliance. I remember wanting to disagree with that principle, with that exact concept, because I'm like, how else are we supposed to seek security, provide for ourselves, our families, and our future, if not through our jobs? Now, I knew that entrepreneurship was an option. I've been pursuing things since my early 20s, but come on, being in my 20s and thinking about being responsible for my own security, that was very scary. And though I am more confident in my ability to do so, it is still very scary. And that's why you can't dive into being an entrepreneur just because you're frustrated with your boss, or your career path, or the coffee machine isn't working, or they took away organic breakfasts. This requires taking full responsibility for your future, your growth, and your security. It's a scary notion, no doubt, but it's also incredibly empowering. I wish I could have found the confidence I needed in my 20s to let go of the safety net of a steady paycheck. This would have stopped me from failing so much and giving up on an idea out of fear. But when I did, I found a deeper sense of peace and purpose. Shifting your mindset starts with recognizing that you are the master of your own destiny. You're capable of building something that can sustain you in every way, financially, emotionally, and long term. I'm all about embracing challenges. So let's tackle this fear head on, shall we, right? Dive in and figure out why this really scares you. For me, it's that classic fear of losing my reliable income. But hey, let's not let that bog us down. We really need to shift our mindset, right? No matter what it takes. Now, I'm not saying ditch your current gig. Let's be real. We all love paying the bills, but keep your eye on the prize. Becoming the boss of your own financial destiny. As they say, fortune favors the bold. So let's be bold. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is I had to actually see myself as a leader. When you know who you are, it changes everything about how you show up. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my 20s while trying to build a business was leading with a subordinate mindset. And that blame is on how workplaces traditionally structure the relationships between employees and their reporting managers. Most of my career, and like many of us, I've been trained to take orders. Over the years, I've learned no healthy workplace is about taking nor giving orders. It's about collaboration. And I learned that recently in the most healthiest workplaces. This distinction is crucial because it's easy to feel talked down to, overlooked, and undervalued, leading to a submissive mindset. However, to thrive in the realm of entrepreneurship, you must shed this submissive stance and embrace your role as a leader. I want you to view yourself as a partner with your reporting managers, like go into that role in your future starting tomorrow. You're not submissive, you're a partner. Look, I don't want you to get fired, all right? People interpret things different, so let me caution you. This episode is a self-esteem booster, but don't let it inflate your head that you forget to calm down. I don't want you going in trying to take your CEO's job tomorrow, okay? Once you've internalized this mindset shift regarding your workplace commitments, as a partner, it's easy to believe in yourself as a leader of your own enterprise. I want you to believe that you possess the capacity to lead anything, an organization. It may not be the one you're at, but any organization, to champion your next groundbreaking ideas, to rally people to believe in what you want to build. Look, by overcoming this subordinate mindset, you've conquered a challenge that many grapple with, including myself for a significant period. I struggled with believing in my ability to lead others and myself. And I mistakenly assumed that I needed permission to pursue endeavors beyond my workplace, beyond my role, relying on the judgment of others. You don't need permission. What you need is confidence, right? Once you've understood that, I want you now to think about becoming an investor. A huge part in shifting our mindset to think like an owner. Now, what I'm about to say might be challenging for many to accept, but here's the truth. Making your entrepreneurial dreams a reality will require some financial investment. Now, you don't necessarily need a fortune to start, but it will demand some level of financial sacrifice. In an upcoming episode, I delve into reshaping our relationship with money, a significant part of which involves overcoming the fear of not having enough by ensuring that we have financial stability through budgeting. Personally, I have become more adept at managing money through this practice and have even managed to shed some detrimental habits, a topic I also touch upon in this season about how we break poor habits so that we can be healthy creators. Now that we're entrepreneurs, we're no longer funneling money into our ventures as mere hobbies or passion projects for amusement. It's literally about cultivating growth and witnessing returns on our investments of both money and time. Understanding yourself as an investor, it necessitates a shift in spending habits, reevaluating where your money goes, be it entertainment, bills, or business-related expenses. For me, one of the biggest financial things I had to overcome was that I'm not spending enough to see my business grow. For example, Weird Saint. I was just sitting down talking to a colleague recently the other day who is also building a promising luxury streetwear brand. And we were talking about how much the upfront cost of our pursuits are. It's very expensive. Hell, the time alone is very expensive. Because I'm aiming for a faster and a more sustainable progress, I'm now delegating tasks that I could handle myself, but they consume too much time. Additionally, I'm bringing on board individuals with expertise in areas like marketing, paid social media, animation, and clothing production, which are all beyond my skill set. Weird Saint's expansion requires capital for things like those product development, sample creation, designer collabs, and web development and marketing. So before I even put the product out for purchase, I think I've probably invested like $3,000, probably over the past year, 7. Now, that's a high number each month, according to what I get paid, okay? Which is why I share in the episode before this, short-term projects and milestones are essential. I don't have $7,000 to invest every month, but I can budget for it over the next 3 to 4. Now, another caution is don't go empty your bank accounts today telling your psychologist that I told you to invest all you got. Calculated risks are essential. Rash decisions fueled by adrenaline, man, they can lead to unnecessary expenditures. Trust me, I know. So I urge all of us to confront our fear of finances, embracing our roles as investors and relinquishing the fear of temporary dips in our bank accounts, knowing that they will ultimately grow. Look, after all, if we don't invest in what's necessary, how can you expect anything meaningful to grow? You can't do this alone. This subject matter, which I also delve into further in part 2 of this season, is a crucial one. You can't do it alone. It might feel lonely, but solo growth is nearly impossible. You'll need to enlist friends, tap into stronger resources, and dive into learning and research. This means reading articles, attending conferences maybe, even seizing new opportunities at work to acquire fresh skills and knowledge that you could use in building your entrepreneurial endeavors. Back in Chicago, during a time when budgets were tight, I trained 7 interns in graphic design, copywriting, video production, and event planning. Pause. They did receive college credit, which was the only way I could succeed. Now later, when I needed part-time employees as my business grew, my $30,000 salary couldn't cover it, and I closed the business down. It wasn't until I moved to New York City that I started building a team around another promising idea, and people were eager to invest their time for capital in the company. And I'm telling you, I had some billion-dollar ideas. That's why people were willing to invest time to get capital, but that's on the shelf right now, hopefully to bring that back. I had people bringing skills from accounting, marketing, to business law. It was very inspiring to see how belief in your vision can attract talented individuals. I couldn't have gotten where I'm at today without people. Currently, I do pay most people for long-term roles that I can't afford. I've been relying on my friend circle. There's a really cool friend who's a strategist for the top billion-dollar companies, and we talk strategy over noodles. And in return, I offer some advice and expertise as needed. So later this season, I'll share strategies for maximizing resources and leveraging friendships to fuel business growth. Because let's face it, as I mentioned, we can't do this alone. In closing, this journey is a thrilling ride. And as we know, not all thrills are purely enjoyable. Think of it like hopping into a roller coaster, right? It invokes a wide array of emotions. It's exciting, it's thrilling, it's unexpected, but when it's over, you can't help but feel invigorated. This is how I envision re-entering the realm of entrepreneurship while balancing a demanding creative executive role. And let me tell you, I have no regrets, man. I remain steadfast, and I believe that one day I will build an empire of multiple income streams in empowering me to flourish in the areas that matter most to me. The lessons I've shared today are just foundational on my growth and sustainability in this world of entrepreneurship. Join me for the upcoming episodes of part 2, slated for release within the next 2 to 3 months, possibly 4, depending on my work commitments. I won't overpromise, but I'm committed to delivering insightful content in the future. Look, in closing, remember not to shy away from the responsibilities necessary for your own security. Embrace your capacity for leadership and shift away from this subordinate mindset. You're not just a consumer anymore. You're an investor in your future. Every investment you make is a step towards growth, not loss. And let's not forget the importance of calculated risk. Also, success isn't a solo journey. It requires additional resources, continuous learning, and the support of friends and allies. I'll see you in part 2 of After My Day Job as we continue this transformative journey together. Thank you for watching and listening. Hey, look, please join that email list. I'm gonna have a workbook and a workshop that elaborates more on this, and we get to go into detail one-on-one and with others on shifting our mindsets, on creating a post workspace that makes sense for us. I'm excited to get you even further than where you are. These are just motivations. You can go back and listen to them repeatedly and actually do these exercises. But until that workbook and that workshop comes out, join the mailing list. Stay active on YouTube. I'll see you on social media channels. I'm super excited to have you a part of this post-work community. Congratulations on shifting your mindset. Congratulations on becoming an entrepreneur. And congratulations on doing this, man, all with a full-time job. Thank you for watching. I'm proud of you, and I'm excited for what's ahead.